first things first. Let's let the people know who we are. My name is Petty Rich, and my friend to the right, your name,
It's Mole Man. What's up, everybody? Good to be here.
and it's good to stay here. So we're gonna go ahead and go right into it, I guess, since we already was talking about it. Let's go more so into the since we got into divorce, right?
Yeah.
Um, in the military, for at least in my experience, there's a high divorce rate because there's a high marriage rate. A lot of these youngins, like myself, had their own reasons one way or another and got into something they were way over their heads in.
Yeah.
So it came with its own hardships. It came with its own things because I've seen some terrible, terrible things happen to young women and men
Mm.
alike. You know, going into a commitment they didn't fully understand or really appreciate.
Do you think that it has a lot to do with marketing and the type of society that's been built around propagating the human species that we go into marriage thinking it's going to be one thing and you kind of get hit with a ton of bricks of what it actually is?
Well, no, I think it's a byproduct of World War I and World War II, the American dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get you a job. You go no, you go to college. You get a job. You get you a job. Then you get a house with the white picket fence, and then you get the kids and the brat, and you repeat the cycle. Right? The
Yeah.
American dream. So you got a lot of people who are operating under those pretenses. So when like you got a lot of young men going into the military who probably never had a salary in their lives, right? Who's never probably had a stable income in certain circumstances and become imbued with the lifestyle that they've never been privy to. And so they only gonna go off of what has been shown to them, this American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever your parents told you, like you gotta get good grades, you gotta go get you a decent job, all that good stuff, all that good slap. So
My parents are always drilling into my head the importance of education, even though I had a mixed bag of experiences when it came to education. Like on one end, because my mom always sought out extracurricular ways of bolstering my education. She was just like, school's not enough. We got to get you a. I wouldn't want to say a tutor, but I went to a lot of summer school, and then there was also a lot of programs like Upward Bound that my mom
word.
thrusted me into. I hated Upward Bound.
I was in Upper Bound too, bro.
It's just like, Mom, I'm going to school 5 days a week, and you want me to go to school on Saturday too? Not even school, like take my ass down to Cal State LA, go to like take college level classes
We
when
had two different experiences.
I had the most crippling like sense of scholastic self worth. Then she was just like, "No, we also got to get you accustomed to college level education." It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
So they saw just a slight above average pep talent and just threw you into the college program.
yeah. And at first, I was just honestly, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like, man, I didn't want to do it. I was just doing it for my mom's, just to get her off my back. And I'm glad I went through it now because I feel like it did help long
Yeah.
term. But at the time, I was just like, again, it was like some sort of uh, gross medicine that I needed to take, even that I wasn't ready to be administered at the time.
I get it.
Yeah,
I really do. I didn't really appreciate Upper Bound until after. And for me, I wasn't a bad kid. I just had a mouth, right?
yeah.
So I started off in the Boys and Girls Club, and they kicked me out. And then my dad put me in Upper Bound, and
Which boys and girls club did you attend?
I went to the one in Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Was it the one over by Wilson on that side of Pasadena, or?
Nah, it's the one over there in West Pasadena.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't
Yeah,
go to that one.
yeah, that was the one off of Fair Oaks. I know the one you talking about over there about on Delmar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we went. I went camping with them.
Oh no shit.
We went to Big Bear. It was lit. My dad was because my dad was one of the staff that went with us, and he had a bunch of food from the 99 cent store, and just had all the hostess cakes and stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
and they was trying to feed us oatmeal and shit and all this water and just add water and shit. Like, we're camping, man. I went straight to my dad's cabin. My dad used to snack me, attack me. I'm like, yo, Capri Suns. I was one of those kids that used to
Straight
think, bro. I used to,
di-
bro,
diabetes. Fucking.
diabetes. You know what I'm saying? My dad was type 2, by the way.
Oh,
Like, yo, my dad was the dude who would pour like a quarter bag of powdered sugar in our oatmeal, bro. Like, he was on some ridiculous stuff. But like, nah, that day. But anyway, we getting off track. We getting off track. We getting off track. We got to get back. So, uh, you were saying like your parents put you in upper bound and whatnot.
yeah, because they saw that as the ultimate gateway to upward mobility. Because both of my parents, they didn't make it past middle school, barely even fucking elementary school.
Right, right.
After, I mean, both my parents, they were working since like they were in their tweens, like 11, 10, 11, 12, some shit like that. Shit, my mom left home at 13. She went to go live with an aunt somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Talk about getting it out the mud, boy.
yeah, dude. I was when she started, because you know, growing up, you know your parents as your parents, but they don't start. You don't start learning actual details of what they went through growing up until it's time for you to get that knowledge and start to see your parents in a different light. So
Right.
when she started telling me things like that, I was just like, well, like I don't know. I was left very disenfranchised and bitter with my scholastic with my time in academia, and I don't know.
So my question to you
Yeah.
would be more so like, what can from that point, right,
Mm-hmm.
where you felt conflicted in your academia to the time that you got married, right? What I get it, right? But for me, I'm gonna just be real. My that time for me was kind of close
Uh huh.
in between. So that's why I'm asking, like, how, like, what was the, you know what I'm saying, like,
So I've yet to be married. I've only had one serious relationship, and that's that's a tricky situation to discuss because,
well, damn, I thought you was married.
well,
I
see,
used to be married, bro. I got
yeah,
divorced.
I mean, the relationship I had, it was very intense because I knew this young lady. Like
Uh
we
huh.
we met in high school, ironically,
Okay.
and then she actually moved away to your home state, and we lost touch for a few years. Got back in touch as young adult, like we were in our mid to late 20s when we reconnected, and then that's when we started dating, and we dated for a few years. It didn't work out, unfortunately. I liked her a lot, but there's just a lot that she needs to address that's yet to be addressed, and it just wasn't gonna work.
I get that, but
Yeah.
for the sake of this podcast, let's
Right.
talk about what you could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Because we know, because like at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we know
True.
that they,
True.
but we can't change them,
No.
right?
No.
What we can do is try to figure out how we can move forward in this and help other people move forward in their own dilemmas in that way, right? Like, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that like my wife, my ex-wife,
My wife.
yeah, my ex-wife, you know, we had our ups and downs, and there's some things that quite a few things I didn't appreciate that went on in a relationship, but I was hasty, bro, and I wasn't I thought I was thinking through my lust, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that I got to take responsibility for.
Right.
I didn't go in it with the full mind and the best intentions.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, with that, you know, because it's like at the end of the day, yeah, all that crazy stuff happened to me, and I can talk about it maybe on another time if you like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But
Tell all your peoples.
and you know, spread the word, let them know I got stories, but
Do the things.
all the things. So my thing is that you know it showed me that I could just at the end of the day I'm in control of all the things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a sense that I need to take more accountability in the choices that I make
Mm-hmm.
and why I make them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about for you. Like, what are things that you could have done? You know that you can better that you can bring into another relationship.
Total honesty, because this was the first relationship I had that was actually like serious, serious. Like we were fucking, we were living together.
I
Like
feel it, the
we
whole
were,
nine,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, short of having pets, because it wasn't in the lease agreement, but
Right.
I mean, we were planning to build a future together, and yeah, there was just like a lot of trepidation on my part because I'd never done anything like this before. So it's just like, okay, how do I walk down this path of life with my woman at the time? And there was just certain things, certain decisions I made that I made out of either, I wouldn't say desperation, more trepidation and fear. Like it's just I
Can you elaborate on the trepidation?
I was approaching things like I'm not too sure, but I'm still gonna,
Insecurity?
yeah, there you go. Insecurity. There's some insecurity there, definitely.
I see. Okay.
And even though when I went into this relationship, I had just kind of come out of another weird phase in my life where put in a, I had just started putting in work on myself,
Okay.
and I felt that having reached this level of self awareness and was starting to work on myself, I thought, cool, like I I reached this I reached this checkpoint. Everything else should be a piece of cake. That wasn't the case. Just because you think you have your realization, your epiphany, everything's gonna work out like splendidly. Nah, that wasn't. That's not how it is. Everything takes work, etc. And that's what I hadn't realized yet. So that's why I was kind of had my rose-colored glasses on when I went into this, and thinking that was gonna be all easy going.
Shout out to the Technicolor dreams out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Nah, but I get that, bro, cuz it
It's like
takes go ahead.
you give them an answer that you think they want to hear when all they want is the truth, and then they can smell that out instantly, and like that just opens like up a whole other kind of worms.
Yeah, transparency is an important part within yourself, right?
Yeah.
Cuz it's like, yeah, you can say it all day about communicating with your partner and having to tell them the truth, but if you're not willing to confront the truth yourself, how could you ever, address it with the people that you love?
That you're trying to build a life with.
Right.
Yeah,
It,
because I mean, there's a lot of truths out there that are ugly, that are uncomfortable, and you have to be in a place, in a state of mind that you could navigate that shit.
yeah, you got to stand 10 toes on it, man. Like, well, like throughout my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had my ups and downs and stuff like that. However, I would say the best way to move forward in life as a man, in my opinion, is to stand accountable on your decisions and your actions, because no matter how much you reinvent yourself, no matter how much you change yourself, no matter how far away you get from something, these are just bricks to the foundation that makes you, right? Like, no matter how far you get away from anything that you've done, they're all you. It all adds up to you.
Yeah.
So, like, recently I've learned to kind of not be so hard on myself. I used to be hard on myself, bro. Like,
I still find myself reverting to that type of behavior, and I have to catch myself midway. It's like,
yeah.
no, 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 no. Like we went that route, it didn't work. So
It's just a matter of, instead of being mad about what I'm not, I'm just more happy about being here, right? Cause it's like I'm here now, and that's a result of where I was, right? No matter how flawed, no matter how imperfect, no matter how off the lines it was at times, I'm here as a result of that flawed, insecure, lustful, wrathful person
yeah,
who tried his best. So I try not to be so hard on myself, because yeah, I made those mistakes, but I'm here. There's better people. There are people that I consider the better men that are
mm,
dead now. You know what I'm saying? So I can't shortchange my efforts if it keeps me in the game. That's at least
that's
how I
a
look at
that
it.
that's a good line. That's something that people should take home and like put that on your wall. A little line of inspiration.
I'm just saying, bro. It's just, we it's hard, because the thing is, like I said, like in the beginning, I was talking about how I was looking for therapy. I ain't
Yeah,
found therapy in like 10 years, bro. And I've been trying to handle my issues privately. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we're so worried about being vulnerable, and worried about what people are gonna say or how they're gonna use it. But it all measures up to you, right?
mm-hmm.
Every action builds up the person that you're gonna be reflective on, the people that see you and engage with you. So, no offense, if you're a piece of shit, you're gonna get some piece of shit
Surrounding
results.
you.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Not even surrounding you, like even niggas like, let's say a dude who's a piece of shit, right?
yeah,
He wants to change, but he has so much baggage, right? And he's got to dive into that shit. So it's not an easy. It's not. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not an easy road. What's that one? that one show. Hi, my name is Earl.
Yeah.
Earl or some
My
shit.
name is Earl.
Yeah,
Yes.
my name is Earl, bro. That's a perfect example of somebody trying to redeem themselves in a meaningful way, but
He had that
he
list.
has so much baggage, bro. Like, so I'm not. I don't. I got my own personal baggage, but not on the level as my name is Earl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is that I'm blessed to be in a position where I can be a lot more transparent
Right.
about my shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, this is personally for people who don't have so many skeletons in their bag.
Yeah.
If you stand on your shit, right? You know what I'm saying? You can stand yourself in a sense, right? Because that's the problem, because it's not really what people are going to say about you. It's about people confirming the things that you say about yourself,
Mhm.
right? Like, so you got to kind of fight. You got to have this eternal fight, because the only reason why people have weight in my life, at least, is because it just was validating the things I was saying about myself and bringing myself down with. So once I started kind of tuning out what my inner self was saying about me, the outer things became less, you know, heavy,
Mhm.
or even like I don't know, man. Like, I'm just in a better point in my life where I can confront my own self worth and be and have a semblance of I don't know. Pride is too strong of a word. Content's too weak of a word.
Uh huh.
I'm at peace with my worth. There you go. I'm at peace with my self worth.
Yeah. I always had an issue with my self worth. I like a lot of people are come over here and say like, "Oh, I have high self-esteem. I have low self-esteem." For a while, I was subscribing to the low self-esteem, but then I was just like, "Nah, fuck that. Like, I just don't. I have low self-worth or no self-worth. Like, my shit was shot." Because earlier, how you were talking about
Yeah.
building upon your foundation and shit, like I realized after going through therapy for almost a year, back in the like a decade ago or whatever, uh, I recognized that my shit was my foundation was rattled. It, like ever since like from the divorce, like that's when shit just kind of like whoop, huge crack in the foundation, and shit just didn't get repaired properly. I was ignoring a lot of shit, and
What made you turn a blind eye to that?
I don't know. I didn't want to recognize the fact that in a sense of a term, my life had crumbled. What I thought was my life had crumbled apart, and it was just like, nah, it's just going through a transformation. Like it's changing into something else.
Okay. Well, with that, right?
Yeah.
Let's pivot from relationships and kind of just discuss just the general coping of our everyday when it comes to mental health, right?
Mhm.
Like, presently now, right? I'm not married. I've been single for about 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I've had to go through my everyday life trying to self-motivate myself, having to, come up with ideas, travel, trying to broaden my culture and in my environment. And then through all that, I'm still trying to find the mental health that I need. And it's a lot to juggle, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy trying to rectify old mental wounds when new mental burdens arise, because you can't stop time,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like at one point you're gonna need an egress, right? You're gonna need an outlet in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the camera behind you is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had to kind of take drastic measures for my own personal healing, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what people often find themselves doing when shit's just not working. You resort to drastic measures. Some of them good, some of them bad.
And my thing is that now that I've taken these measures, they don't feel as drastic though, right?
Mhm.
So I know I said that, but for me, it was at the time. So I won't knock anybody else's, you know, point. But my point being is that through my drastic quote unquote measures, I found something that a lot of men don't really do, and that's kind of stand in front of their truth.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's the truth, and then there's your truth, right?
Yeah.
My personal truth is I am a wrathful, lustful, prideful man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It took me a long time to kind of really look myself in the mirror and really point out my flaws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds simple, right? Just three words. Oh, so you just know everything about yourself. No, this took time, took digging, took figuring out what these emotions were. It's like matching the dots. It's like a memory game where you're flipping cards trying to figure out which one's he is the one. Okay, I feel like this. Does it mean this? No. Does it mean that? No. Until you figure out, until it correlates, until the shit looks like it match, right?
Right.
So, this is what I've been doing, just kind of piecing it together from feeling to thought to rationale to define what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling these things so that I can be the arbiter of my own healing in a sense. Like, I want to walk my own path towards a true path of healing because every time I go to the VA, bro, like I go there and they give me an evaluation,
Right.
wait 30 days, nobody picks me up, or they want to put me in group therapy or anger management. Nothing I've asked for, nothing that's in my record that says that I need that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of shuffle me through this mental health circus. You know what I'm saying? So I if I wanted something specific for my needs, I was gonna have to make it for myself. And I'm not saying, and this is not me. Now, mind you, I'm not a medical expert, as you can tell. I'm 100% mentally disabled by the VA, bro. So ain't no medical. This is no medical professional advice. This is just my personal wisdom regarding my own pursuits to mental health seeking therapists and stuff like that. I just want to put that disclaimer out. We are by no means any medical professionals, nor are we trying to tell anybody how to handle their mental health, okay? But back to what I was saying. So, I'm not able to find my, you know what I'm saying? And then finally, right, Donald Trump just signed this executive order back in like 2020 to let veterans go outside the VA to look for their medical needs
Right.
if they can't find their medical needs within the VA after 30 days. So I started looking for therapists who qualify, looking around. And even then, it's still kind of fruitless because, one of them said we weren't compatible. I told her what was going on, what I needed. She was like, I don't think we work. So, and it's not their fault, and
Yeah.
I appreciate them not wasting my time and not wasting their time. But the thing is that what I'm trying to say is that when you go on your own looking for this, you're gonna find that mental health is not just this singular monolithic solution, right?
Yeah.
You're not just gonna be able to go into this one place and there's
It's
just
like
gonna
the mental health big box stores.
right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Come in with your disorder. We got
hey,
you
you know what I'm
covered.
saying? You got that depression, you got that schizo. Let me go ahead and
You
sling
got
you
some
some.
dysmorphia,
You know what I'm saying?
addiction. We
Like
got
what?
you.
What? Fuck up some commas. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, you gotta really be. It's kind of a conundrum because you got to use your brain power so
Hmm.
that you can get your mind healed.
You do, man. It's so true because so a lot of my self-worth issues was tied in my weight because I was fuck. Okay, so you know how you're saying your truth, you're prideful, lustful.
Right.
For me, it's greed, gluttony, and lustful as well.
Okay.
Yeah, not so much the pride. Like for me, I've been weird with pride. Like I don't know. I'm not knocking that, but it's just
Hey man,
uh,
hey, some egos are more inflated than others, bro. It
yeah.
ain't I don't got no pride in my pride, ironically.
And
uh,
so the first thing for me that I attacked that was holding me back was my eating habits, and then I also noticed that there were like uh, weird compulsory behavioral traits that were affiliated with my eating habits that I felt that once I addressed them with the eating, it kind of bled over into other aspects of my behavior
right.
because I would buy a lot of stupid shit. If I wasn't wasting my money on food, I'd always waste it on dumb shit that I just.
Right.
So once I kind of curtailed like the eating, it kind of bled over into like my spending habits, and I felt that okay, I got starting to get certain aspects under control over time. Kind of helped me overall in the long run, kind of get other aspects of my life under control, and I feel that people need to look at things. I should say people should look at what they're trying to tackle. Not so much in big picture mode because you will. I feel that you'll overwhelm yourself. Just like it's cliche, but it's really the small details, like the small steps that you take that over time help you in like big picture.
I get you. My thing is that we find ourselves overindulging, having a hubris in our actions because we can do certain things, right?
Right.
And sometimes it leads us right back to the thing that we're trying to get ourselves away from. So, like I get it. Like for me, um, after my marriage, I stayed single for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
ironically enough, I wasn't mad at my wife despite everybody else mad at her. I was mad at myself, and I took it out on myself.
Okay.
So I got a little reckless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I missed my wife. I was lonely. You know what I'm saying? So I acted out. You know what I'm saying? I was tricking. I was getting hoes. You know what I'm saying? I was doing things that was out of character
Mm-hmm.
of at least that how I saw myself. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, after my marriage, I'm not like I said, I'm not gonna go into detail. It just everything got a bit topsy turvy for me. You know what I'm saying? As far as my morality, uh, my faith,
Mm-hmm.
my how to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And then my own personal gripes with the military
Yeah.
at the time. So I just did things to fill the void, bro. I had bread. It was coming. It wasn't stopping. So I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And I was on some shit where it was like, why I don't really need to deal with. I don't need to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Like I got hurt.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not taking it. But at the same time, I know that hurt people, right?
Yeah.
And this ain't right. So I just would fuck with hoes. It wasn't like I was doing no crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like I just kind of wanted to kind of circumvent being hurt. Circumvent opening up and being vulnerable because I've had my personal deep most innermost thoughts exposed to my superior officers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Like I've had my fears, I've had my doubts and all that just exposed. So I had a hard time trusting women for a while, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, you don't have to trust a hoe. You just got to make sure you pay a hoe, right? You know what I'm saying? That's where I was in my head. You just gotta pay a hoe. You ain't gotta
Yeah.
trust her. You ain't gotta confide in her. She ain't gotta be robbing nothing, nigga. $40, bro. Have a nice day.
Wow.
I'm just saying, bro. Like that's where my head was at, bro. Like I was not in a place where I was trying to figure out what women were.
Yeah.
At least when I got out the Navy, like I would say about the like 3-4 years after I got out, I wasn't even like I was doing I was fucking regular bitches, but like at the same time, it's just kind of hard for a long time to really connect with bitches
Mm-hmm.
because excuse me, women, because
Yeah.
I was in a place where I just didn't want to open up, bro. Like I've never been more humiliated than I was in the Navy because of a woman that I love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like I didn't want that for regular like and it's fucked up. Like shout out to sex workers. I'm not out here disrespecting, but I didn't want to fuck up regular people who was looking for something like more than just that, right?
No, I
But at
totally
the
get
same
it.
time I had my needs and shit. But it wasn't healing my own personal hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of just going through I was just trying to I was protecting myself with the access that I had to it.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, bro, it's not it became to a point where it felt like I was ashamed of myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that I lost myself in this process of just trying to protect myself. I lost myself. You know what I'm
Totally.
saying? And for a long time, I kind of no, I didn't tell nobody. I wasn't telling nobody about how I was living my life or nothing, right?
This is
Just
the only time right here where I'm actually gonna be putting this stuff out there for people to know about.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, bro. I'm just like, I feel like if we gonna really help people, we gotta really say this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna tell my story. Like I said, it's about transparency. That's the only thing that's gonna save a man in this lifetime right now, man. It's not about the truth in the world. It's about the truth in yourself. If no matter what you hear about me, it don't matter because
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowing you to put it out there. This is the shit I'm not ashamed of because this is because to be ashamed of it means I'm ashamed of the efforts that young man has had to come through. Yeah, I don't approve of everything that I done in my past, but thank God that he had the sense to make what he had work. You know, I know that young man wasn't proud of everything he was doing. I know he was trying to find his way because I'm here now. You know,
Yeah.
so my thing is, so for years that happened until I ran into different people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like low key, military like it's a lot of it's some good people. It's not a lot of good people. Like tricking, I got into that shit in the military, and it wasn't because someone was like, "Hey, I'm gonna show you how to buy hose," right? No, when you go out to sea, bro, like you have these groups and shit, right?
Right.
So when you in these work buddy groups, it's from like minimum 3, maximum 5. You can't be no more than 5 and shit. So the reason why it's odd numbers is because based on where you go, it's on the vote.
Gotcha.
And I just so happen to keep running into motherfuckers who want to fuck people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, can we at least meet the locals first, bro? Like, can we even try to get lucky, nigga? We just gotta go buy hoes, bro. Like, damn, like, this is how I felt when I first got into that shit. I was mad because it was like, damn, I want to just try my luck with the normal bitches, bro. Like, that's
They,
what,
they love a man in uniform.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, we ain't even tapping in right now, bro. We just out here just gonna buy hoes. Like, damn, bro, that's what we doing. Like, y'all ain't even trying to you ain't trying to throw a frisbee, nothing.
Oh,
Just buying hoes, bro.
yeah.
Bro, like I swear, the first day I went to Brazil, bro, I went to like 9 brothels.
Save some for the rest of us, dude.
Nigga, not
Nine,
because of me,
bro.
bro. No, I went to no because of democracy. That's why the fuck I went to 9 brothels on the first day of Brazil. It's because of democracy. I had what 3 horny niggas that kept outvoting me, bro. 3 horny ass niggas kept outvoting me heavy. They was like, we going to these bitches.
Wait. I have to ask.
I'm
Were
saying.
the offerings different at each brothel, or was each one tailored to a specific type of woman?
Bro, we didn't speak Portuguese, so these niggas is going everywhere anyone's offering, bro. I'm literally just walking around, bro, just going to these dumbass brothels, bro.
Yeah.
The only one that stood out was the last one I went to that night, which was, I don't even remember what it's called, but basically it was like rush hour and shit. You know what I'm saying? They made us take off our clothes except our boxers.
Uh-huh.
They wanted us to take off our shoes, but I had J's on. I'll be damned if I, bro, everybody looking at my J's. I was what, 20, 21, 22. I have J's on my feet, bro. These are like, what the fuck? No, bro. I am black and with J's. That just it's a combo package.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm up there with my J's and this robe, and it's just a bunch of skimpy women dancing and shit. I'm like, yo, this is the littest club I've ever seen. Now, mind you, I'm 21. I don't really know international lingo, and the thing that I didn't know is that most brothels overseas are called clubs, and most clubs, actual clubs out there, are
Discotheques.
called discos. So I didn't know that shit. So we were actually trying to look for a club that night, but we ran into another damn bro.
You thought you were out? They pulled
Yo,
you back in.
but that was the first time I took one down though. Like she
Okay.
was bad. I took her upstairs and she was like, "Oh, this is this." I was like, "What?" But then, I was already up there, so I was like, in for a penny, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Aim for that pound.
In for the pound. So, like, I ain't never been, like, I felt bad, bro.
Were you nervous?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I was drunk.
Oh, okay.
I was drunk because when I got out there, shit, all the liquor is just higher proof, higher percentage. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking like 90 proof mojitos, 100 proof
Jesus.
mudslides. I done had like 3 or 4 of them. I don't speak the language, so by the time they tell me how high it is, I'm fucked up, falling out the chair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty toe up, drinking liquor with scorpions in it and shit.
Look at
Yeah,
that
man.
Scorpion liquor, huh?
Yeah, man. And then I didn't do it every port. So every port that I did that in, right, was Brazil. I fucked some bitches, of course, because it was Brazil. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if we wasn't gonna do it if we weren't gonna do it regular, I was gonna do it another way. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
so, and then the second one was Malaysia. That sucked. That sucked ass. I don't know why I did that shit. I was lonely at that. Wait, that was my second deployment. So I was going through my separation at the time. So yeah, fuck that. Why are you guys like, oh, but so no, I wasn't only married 11 months. So But then and then that was it. I only did it twice on 2 deployments. So I did it once a deployment.
Okay.
So it was, so. But after that, it was like if it's like a virus, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you just keep getting, when you just have money, you know what I'm saying? And then you get so used to just not having to open up and shit like that. But then when you want something meaningful, you find out how flawed your thinking is.
Yes, that's what shit started to change for me when it became too robotic, and then I was just like, I need something
Yeah.
more. I need something more of substance. That's when
Yeah.
shit started changing. I was like, but then at the same time, that's when I also found out about the swinger parties and shit like that. So I kind of it quickly
Oh,
receded
you
back.
like still party.
Yeah, because I was able to interact with them on a.
Word.
It was still shallow because on the real, I wasn't trying to like be friends with any of these people. I wasn't trying to hang out with them outside of the environment that I was interacting them with them on.
Y'all just had a mutual thing that y'all wanted to do at
Yeah,
that time.
yeah. Because honestly, aside from my voracious sexual appetite,
Right.
I just like to stay home, game, or watch anime,
I feel it.
or play drums. Like
Right,
I
right.
don't go out. Only time I'll go out is like for conventions, the movies, or a concert, or this.
Yeah. See, I want to say I'm an introvert, but I'm not because I talk too much. So,
Well, you can still be
nah,
introverted
like I
and
am like as far as my feelings, I'm an introvert to my feelings. But as far I like
okay.
to, cause I like ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to travel. So the Navy was like a no brainer.
Hmm.
And then so I would say the Navy opened me up geographically,
Right.
but my adult best friend Amra, he opened me up demographically. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen two horizons in this lifetime, one literally and one demographically. Because the way I say demographically is because I'm from LA 35 years, right?
Yeah.
And then I meet my homeboy 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm in here like you watching anime, bro. All I did was watch anime, play video games, and get high and buy hoes. And then the Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain trailer came out, and I screamed, "Hideo Kojima is the greatest game director of all time, bro."
Yeah.
And so the next day I was like, I'm gonna throw a weed party with some of the friends I was making at the time.
Hmm.
And that's when I ran into my boy Armor and Cherry and my homegirl Cherry. And they introduced themselves to me, and the rest was history on that. But he started inviting me to things. We started having these esoteric conversations I didn't usually have. You know what I'm saying? Because cause like at that time growing up, I just had my head down and I had my own personal values to run with, right?
All right.
And finally I had somebody to open up my world in a way that most people, because it's like, for me, I was always like, damn, if only a nigga had a chance, right?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this was kind of like my second chance in life to kind of run with it, right? I
Right.
ain't got to worry about, you know, having to be a certain way. I didn't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, people judging me. And it was weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I just came from a place where I felt that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With my wife, with the Navy. That's why I was buying hoes, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm getting all this love, this newfound love, right?
Right.
And then but I'm still trying to cope with my older wounds. And then it got to a point where my my benefits wasn't coming in. Like I said, the therapy. So what I had to do was I bridged the gap.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I decided to let my friends, my newfound friends, come into my old wounds. And that was scary because it was like, shit, I'm about to show people about a side of me that, you know what I'm saying? It's long since been behind me that they weren't around me to be a part of it, but I want to bring them in on it because it's a source to a lot of my, you know, erratic behavior sometimes.
Yeah.
When I get frustrated or I say certain things, it's because I'm kind of speaking in code to myself sometimes.
I
A lot of,
gotcha.
you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll write on Facebook, just it'll be weird. It won't be for nobody but for myself sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To address my past that I didn't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people would hear my story and be like, well, nigga, you only bought a couple of hoes in your life. What you bitching about? But the thing is that for me, the one thing that I try to not be is a hypocrite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I try to be a man of God, and I lost my way. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't me trying to tell nobody this is a testimony and all that. But if you won't, I got you. But I'm just saying. But this is just a more of a less to stand on your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stand on your truth because it's your truth. No matter how much you don't want it to be, it's your truth. And that was the hardest thing I've ever had to confront. So I I think that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean?
It's funny you touch on religion because for me that's always been a point of contention growing up.
Let's go.
My mom is still active heavily in the Catholic Church. She's actually performing in a play. It's Easter weekend, but
Word.
it was Easter weekend, so she had a role
I
to.
thought it's Easter weekend now.
By the time this is up, it's gonna be past.
For sure. Right.
Yeah,
We Saturday night, Easter's tomorrow, so just let y'all know if it's coming up late. That's why we talking about
yeah.
it.
So she played the role of one of the women crying as Jesus is being, as he's dying, as he's either being carried out of the tomb or into the tomb. I can't remember. But for me, the way my brain is, I just ask too many fucking questions. I'm too inquisitive, too curious, and that didn't lend well. It lent itself well to growing up and in a Catholic household. Like, not that they would tell me to shut up or whatever. It's just like I just felt that I wasn't getting the answers I was searching for when asking about certain questions, and
I get that.
I just became disinterested, and I just wasn't. What is it? I only went to church because my mom would make me. Like, she didn't give me any other option. When I stopped going to church in my early 20s, it was kind of like mama low key. She was shook. She was just like, ugh, say it ain't so, son.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she did. She wanted to. She tried to get me to go a lot again after, like, I was stood my ground. I was like, no, I'm not going. Like, I'm done. Like, I did all the church attending I was gonna do. I've attended since, like, a handful of times, but I just don't anymore. Like, aside from all the fucking child abuse, like that,
She.
like that's enough of a reason that people should just, like, on that alone, should just stop supporting the church.
She.
All right, and then yeah, it just was always a point of contention, and I recently came back around. It's just like I label myself a retired Catholic. I
A
do.
retired. What? So you hang up your jersey or something, man? What's up? What we doing? What we doing?
Still believe in God. I just don't fuck with organized religion. Like, I just walk away from all that shit. Like,
Okay, so you like agnostic,
yeah, dude. Like, hung up my. I'm still on that.
bruh. Hanging up his jersey out here, bro. I'm out the game, bro. I put up the stats. And then he was like, you know what, God, I got another one in me. You know what I'm saying? He pulled down the jersey. He was like, let's go, God. We're going to go ahead and get one more ring. I still got one in me, boy. He trying to do his LeBron. He's like, throw the baby powder in the air for the Lord and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, boy, like,
Oh shit.
but
So yeah, dude, it's just been weird coming back around to it, just because I don't know. I had some experiences along the way that it made me question, like, there has to be something bigger at play here. It's just like there was just something eating at me that I just couldn't ignore. That it was just, it didn't feel right to keep on living or just like thinking the way that I was thinking. So
right.
that's why I made the decision to kind of get back. And it's funny because as a kid, they would try and get me to read the Bible, and when I just never, I haven't to this day, like, read, like, the complete Bible, like, book end to end. Like, I feel that's something that I will actually want to do now as an adult, which is weird. Is just like actually sit down and read it for the first time and just take it
Word.
in.
I get you. You know, my thing is that the Bible is a complex thing with a complex story,
Mm-hmm.
with complex with the complex nature, right? Um, the Bible itself is essentially about a people, right? And from there, it's just other details coming with it, right? So for me, I grew up in the church. I wasn't Catholic. I was a Protestant or Church of God in Christ Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
I too had questions. I too did not get answers. However, I was really, really into conspiracies growing up. Really, like X Files, Metal Gear Solid, Sam Fisher. Yes, bro. Lalale Lule Lo, right, bro? Right? Like, I was in there, bro. So I questioned stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
so I used to think that maybe there was a conspiracy to like hide information in the Bible, bro. Like maybe there's something going on. Like I used to just to be fun with it, and I was like, cause it's like for me, it was just like instead of walking away,
Uh-huh.
why not just double down? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been doing. I just double down to find my own person, to find my own answers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like finding my own answers. I like that term because it's like I like to get because I'm an Armor Core fan,
Right.
and and there was one for answers. I'd be like, I want answers. No, I'm gonna stop. I'm stop. Like it ain't even about that. I just be wanting answers for just because of the title. Yeah, you for answers. Like nah, bro. But nah, I was looking for my own answers. So I was looking up Aleister Crowley, Tim LaVey.
Mm-hmm.
I started off in demonology and Satanism and witchcraft, not practicing. If that's what you guys think, no, I was never a practitioner of these dumb things. The thing is that we are living in a Gregorian calendar, right?
Yeah.
So that means, and this calendar is quite young. So I was trying to figure out the feast days, literally of the Bible. So I was like, who would have their dates right but the witches, right? Wouldn't they gotta have their dates right, right?
Yeah.
They can't fuck up the dates for the rituals and shit. Like that's what I was thinking. So I was like, if I can get their calendar, I can just match it up according to the scriptures.
Right.
Boom, feast days. So I started just becoming more literal with the Bible. So I was looking for the actual ancient dates and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I went and read the Apocrypha and then the Book of Jasher, the Book of Jubilees. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to extend everything that I could with the Bible, bro, because it was like it could be a lie or it could be reverse psychology because my dad was awesome at that shit. You know, like my dad used to use reverse psychology on me all the time, bro.
Wait, you're telling me that the Bible is reverse psychology? Like,
No, it's
oh,
not.
okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
No. Them the way they preach it to us, the
Oh.
way they preach to a lot of people and make them walk away from the Bible
Right,
is
right, right.
reverse psychology. I don't think pastors, in my opinion, preach to keep to bring in people, but to turn them away.
Really?
Why? Because they give us. Because how do you walk away with more questions than answers from people who's supposed to be theological specialists?
Mm-hmm.
You got a whole Bible that's supposed to be complete in its word, and yet all you do is preach from 2 verses and preach for 3 hours,
Right.
right? But there's a whole book. Wait, there's books within a book, but you only giving me 2 verses.
Hey, which verses do you think have there been more sermons built upon?
I want to say probably Psalms 23.
Really?
Yeah, that the Lord is my shepherd.
Oh, okay.
No. 23 is yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of
Gotcha,
death,
gotcha, yeah.
I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You know, lead me down to green pastures and still waters. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Yeah.
Love it. It's paraphrased a little bit, but I love it. I love it. Thing is yeah, they do that one. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's John 3:16.
Mm.
I forgot it. You know, it's John.
Not everything's about wrestling, bro.
It's not, but it is. Is it not? You know, hey, we're not going. This is not politics, so we're not gonna go into the mechanics of wrestling because
Right.
that might blow your mind on a Matrix level and shit. You might see wrestling everywhere after I tell you that shit. Like
We'll say that for another episode.
another episode. Life is wrestling. Like, oh me, bro. Life is wrestling, and you know who the main star is?
Ooh.
Cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Like, there is no wrestling without cocaine, people. I just want you to know that. Like, If you wonder why like people ain't on the like the like why people think like the Attitude Era and the era before that
Mm.
were so great, you have to just understand cocaine is a hell of a drug, bro. Bro, name bro, all I'm saying is name the last time you done seen a man like Randy Savage talk that talk. Name the last time someone done said they the cream of the crop, bro. Like, oh, I'm the cream of the crop, ass nigga. Like,
You can't. It's been a minute.
man. So, but yeah, back to where we were at.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see, cause I kind of lost where we were at. I ain't even gonna cap.
It's funny how we started on religion and ended up with
Right.
wrestling.
Okay, so we back on religion. Religion, wrestling. But my thing is that I had to double down
Hmm.
on the beliefs that I held true all my life, and just to see it through. You know what I'm saying? And I found a different answer that let me that allowed my faith to become a part of my mental healing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't allow these quote unquote shepherds to lead me astray, being as I would be a sheep of their flock.
Mm.
Because I chose to go after the source, which is Christ. This is not no sermon, but this is all a part of mental healing. You know what I'm saying? Because mental health encompasses mind, body, and spirit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't heal the mind without healing the body. You can't heal the body without healing the spirit. They all correspond. And I'm not telling you to, find God. I'm not on no Kanye right now. God works for me. But as a man, you need to have a spiritual will, bro, within yourself to believe in something greater than yourself. Because if you don't, you're not gonna move forward, bro. Because that's where purpose lies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Purpose lies in that big ocean, of spirit, of the spirit, man. Cause and the only way you're gonna find that is when you let go of your pride and ego. When you find yourself walking away from, the sense that you have to do this for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I mean by somebody else, I mean of this world. Because everything I do is for the Most High. But that's my personal will in my spirit, right?
Hmm.
Whoever drives you bigger than you, it can even be yourself, narcissistic bastard, but it's got to be something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Malcolm X said, believe in something or fall for anything. So my thing is that we in a time now where there's a lot of gaslighting, right? It's a lot of men and women alike trying to convince men how to be men. How to address women, how to address life, how to address education, how to address health, how to address sex, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you don't uphold your own personal truths, right? Because then when you start living other people's truths, you stop being the man that you're destined to be. How you gonna tap into your spirit if you allow people to come in on that? So I'm before I get to rambling, I want to just kind of at least end my part on this,
Yeah.
at least on this segment. Um, Stand on your truth. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we have a responsibility to ourselves to accept everything that we bring to the table that brought us here. I'm done.
If you don't know what your truth is, sit down, turn everything off, find out what your truth is. It's not going to come to you overnight. That's fine. It takes a while, but seek it out, live it out, and go from there.
Oh man. Well, I think where we at right now?
I think that's a good spot to end it on.
How much time we in?
There's no counter on here. I can't tell you. There's no timer.
But I think this is a good one. I don't
Yeah.
feel like I've missed anything regarding this subject. And if we got to come back to it, if you got any questions, comments, please leave them below. Let us know how you feel about the things that were said here. Let us know your own experience. Tell us how you feel about what was said today. We would be more than welcome to hear it.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
All right.